Live from Hollywood and Highland, welcome to Trashy Trashy.
I'm Erica, Mid-Atlantic Accent Curry, and I'm coming to you from the dumpster of the Dolby Theaters to take a look at the trashiest moments in Oscars history.
And I'm Cassandra, you really like me, Cardenas, stuck here in limo holding lot down on Vine, bumming cigarettes off drivers.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. Well, kind of. It's still an Oscars episode. Welcome.
Welcome. Congratulations to blank.
Whoever won.
And can you believe such and such can you believe blank got snubbed?
Oh my God. No, I can't believe it. If you're listening to this right now, I'm in Paris and we pre-recorded this.
But I could not believe the nip slip on Faye Dunaway. Wait, is she passed? Oh God.
Is she alive? She's alive.
Right? Oh God, I hope. Still kicking. Thank God. Okay. Wow. I could not handle a nip slip on a deceased. Okay. Wow. Do your research, Curry. Do your research. Oh my goodness. I like to watch the Oscars sometimes competitively. Do you ever fill out like ballots and things like that for watching the Oscars?
Absolutely. Look, I liked before the pandemic. Oh, I should save it. It's why I'm trash.
Oh, save.
The point is, yes. I do like to, I don't gamble on sports. I don't gamble, I guess, on the Oscars. Well, there are prizes involved if you win.
And it's not recognition of your peers in the industry. Oh my goodness. I truly love the Oscars campaigning. Like, it's such craziness that they have to put all these rules around it, and just the people that get, people are like, how did they get nominated? Like, that movie made $18.
Yeah, there's one of the nominees for Best Actress this year is facing that. She is so unfamous, I can't even remember her name or the movie she's in. But if you watched the Oscars last night, you'll know what I'm talking about, because you're going to have a moment where you and whoever you're watching with goes, who?
The movie made like $27,000 in theaters, I think. And
apparently she crushed it.
Yes, and has always put out great performances. Again, can't think of her name for the life of me. Gun to my head.
I've seen a thing that she's into it.
Gun to my head, can't think of it. But
apparently she's quite good.
There was a lot of question around who was emailed prior to the nominees coming out, and how, maybe family members were emailed and lobbied. It's just, the whole campaigning thing's a mess. Campaign reform, you know what I mean? That's what I'm about, but it's for the Oscar.
I mean, I have a feeling that Avatar was nominated before it even came out. There's just certain stuff that you're going to assume will get nominated. I mean, for those who don't live in New York or LA, you're like, what are all these movies? I've never even heard of them. And of course you haven't, because they rush like crazy to get these movies that are not ready yet out. And I think that to count for Oscars, you only have to release in like 15 theaters for like 2 weeks. So a ton of the movies that get nominated that you've never heard of, they came out in 10 theaters in New York and LA on Christmas Day. And that's how they were able to squeeze in for Oscar season. And if you have a really killer Oscar movie, you're not going to release it in the summertime. Usually you won't. So Erica, tell me, why are you so glamorous and trashy?
Well, I'm so glamorous and I'm so trashy that one time I was invited to the movie premiere of one Cloud Atlas.
Wow.
Where Tom Hanks says the phrase, the true.
Halle Berry too, right?
Halle Berry, I believe everyone's favorite John Wick actor. Keanu's in it. There's so many people in that movie. You'll just be like, what?
I don't want to talk shit.
Hugh Grant
couldn't get through it
because it's terrible.
Hugh Grant,
Jim Sturgis, I think Susan Sarandon. So we come to Susan Sarandon.
So
me and my friend get invited to this movie premiere. I'm sure we got on some like fan website and had to stand in line for like 6 hours or something, something insane, not like, oh, we're Hollywood she's. So
Okay.
we're standing in line. It's at the Mann's Chinese Theater, like the famous Chinese theater where the handprints are in the sidewalk from the old stars and all that. So we're standing,
Yes.
we get to walk the red carpet. And by that, I mean, the photographers were like, get out the fucking walk. You have to walk past it to get into the theater. Nobody was taking our photo. They were like, go get off the carpet. You're going to mess up with your, Marshall shoes. So we usher in and we, just sit down or whatever. Keanu unceremoniously sits by himself in the middle of the theater.
Babe, I don't think Keanu Reeves is in this movie. I'm not trying to poke holes in your story, but I'm looking at the cast right now. I don't see him. I think you're thinking of Jim Sturgis.
No, Keanu was there. I swear.
Not in the
Maybe
movie.
he produced it. Maybe he was involved. For some reason, Keanu was there. I swear.
I'll believe you, but
yeah,
he's
not in it, is he?
No, he's not.
But I know he was there. Let me see how he was in it somehow. Let's see. Because Cloud Atlas, the rebirth of Keanu Reeves.
What?
Yes, he plays some alien clone thing. Yeah, he's in it.
What? Why doesn't he come up as like immediate cast on IMDb or anything else?
This is in 2012 when this movie came out. It's now
And?
the Brahmins Chinese Theater.
And
he was in it. I'm looking at the images.
he's
of
not
him,
in top cast
because he's in like a small role, but he's in it. He's in it. He was at the premiere. I'm
Keanu?
staring at the AP images of Keanu at the premiere.
Keanu Reeves in Cloud Outlet. Cloud Atlas.
He plays like a Botox looking alien. It's a whole mess. But anyway,
Girl,
he's in it. I'm staring at the premiere photos.
I could see pictures of him at the premiere,
but
but
he's
he's not in the movie.
I'm sending you an image of him.
I'm looking at the same image. I see him at sometimes celebrities go to premieres for things they're not in.
I'm sending you a picture of him in the movie.
Why isn't he on IMDb?
Was he maybe embarrassed of being in the movie? I don't know. Because it's not bad. Because it's by the Wachowski sisters. Say that for me. Wachowski sisters.
Okay.
Oh no. Who did the Matrix?
Hold on. I'm getting onto IMDb Pro. Okay, I got. Ooh, my star meter went up. Yes.
Ooh.
Woo!
This is so side noted. But he's in it.
Girl, he was at the premiere. You're not wrong about that.
He plays.
I'm on his IMDb. And if I don't see Cloud Atlas, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Okay, so oh god damn it, this website's spam. He's in it. I swear to God.
No,
he
was there.
I swear he's in it. He was there. Anyway, I think
he was there. You're not wrong. He was there. He definitely went to the premiere. I can see those pictures. But this man, 2012, let's see. In 2011, he was in Yelling to the Sky. He got a special thanks. Side by Side, he played himself. Generation in 2012. Man of Tai Chi, 2013. Keanu Reeves was not in Cloud Atlas. He was just at the premiere. I don't know why we're fighting about this.
All right, whatever.
You just sent me Cloud Atlas or Rebirth of Keanu Reeves from checkerboardcollective.wordpress.com.
But did you see the image? It looks like
that's not Keanu Reeves. That's some other fucking guy.
All right, we gotta retake this.
We're not retaping shit. You leave this all in there.
Okay, so the point is, Keanu Reeves was at the movie premiere.
Sturgis. I said, are you sure you're not talking about Jim Sturgis?
Oh, all right. Anyway, so.
Oh my God. You have to post this on Instagram so people can see how much this picture is not of Keanu Reeves.
They all play different types of characters in the anyway.
Oh my God. It's a good thing we film this over Zoom. I'd shake you right now.
He's a humble man, sat by himself unceremoniously, wasn't making a splash, very nice man. Anyway, so me and my friend we watch the movie. It's the worst movie I've ever seen in theaters. Maybe I wanted to walk out, but again, it's the premiere. It's a whole thing. So
yeah,
after the movie, me and my friend that I went with, Michelle, we go into the bathroom and we just went in together. We didn't think about it. We went not the main floor. We went off to like some side bathroom, kind of out of the way. We didn't want to hang up the bathroom for any stars. We just went in together because we're gal pals in our 20s, whatever. Well, we come out at the same time, and we hadn't been in there long at all. We just did our business, got out, washed hands, Susan Sarandon is outside of that door. And, as far Democrat and left as Susan Sarandon is, and all these rights, she gave us the dirtiest, fucking weirdest looks for coming out of the bathroom together at the same time.
She probably
Like-
thought you were in there doing cocaine.
Now that I think about it, it's not homophobic. It was probably cocaine. Yep. You know
You
what?
thought she was being homophobic in that moment?
Yes, because we were two girls leaving a single stall bathroom at the same time.
No, bro. She was probably just like, I have to piss. And when you have to wait in line and then what comes out is two women at the same time, you're like, oh my God, these fucking idiots. They probably took a lot longer than they should have. Or they were in there doing cocaine.
You know what? Thank you, because I've held on to that memory for so long. And
Have
no
you
one
been
really-
spreading the rumor that Susan Sarandon is a homophobe?
No, I'm not.
You're like, I
responsible
just
for
think
that.
it's funny that Susan Sarandon's doing all this stuff for this left campaigns, considering what a homophobe she is.
In my heart, I haven't been telling others, she's a homophobe. She just gave us the weirdest look and was like, "Excuse me," and like went into the bathroom, and we were like, "Oh my God, we met Susan Sarandon." Dumb mid-20s, just moved to LA minds. We're like, "Oh my God, Susan Sarandon just talked to us."
She talked to you?
She said, "Excuse me," and like go into the bathroom because we like to walk past. We were like, "Oh my God, we just met Susan Sarandon, the homophobe."
Was she homophobic? So exciting. But
Yeah, so exciting. Anyway, so the movie was, I've talked shit constantly about that movie ever since. It's the worst movie to me. I hated it so much. And
yeah.
Keanu Reeves is not in it. I will admit my mistake. I will dig my heels in till I am dragged to the edge of a circle. And
I
then
couldn't let that
fall
go.
down.
I'm sorry. I
But
have
he
to
did
apologize about my behavior. I couldn't
he
let it go.
did attend the premiere.
He did
That's
because it was it was the same
because
directors
his
as
friends,
the
yeah.
Matrix. Yes.
His friends did it. So yeah, so that. So yeah, we got, the look from old Susan Sarandon. So yeah, it was a mess. But on to the next, on to the next. Anyway, why are you trash?
So back in 2020, the Oscars were in February, and COVID didn't start until March in the United States. So get off my back. All right. I threw a big old Oscar party. You were invited. I don't believe you came.
I think I was out of town. Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. You were busy. So I threw a huge Oscars party. Me and my friend Maya threw it together. And, I switched the orientation of my house for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a living room, dining room situation, but I ended up putting the TV up against a window in the living room so that I could create what became like a stadium seating all the way back from my living room into my dining room, like with different levels of chairs so people could watch. It was really cool. We cut out giant pictures of the faces of nominees. I got a lot of dollar store balloons. I did. Anyways, Maya and I went to high school together, and she's probably one of my only friends from high school still. No shade to all my friends from high school. They were all great. This is how the cookie crumbled, And so since we were doing a joint party, we both invited people, and there was someone who came who was one of Maya's friends. And I was like, "Hey, how are you? I'm Cassandra, whatever." And he was like, "Yeah, no, I know." "What?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's me." I don't remember his name even to this day. Let's call him Darren. It's me, Darren. Yeah, we were in English. Yeah, well, we both went to Burroughs all 4 years together. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Welcome to my home. And I don't know why, because this has happened to me a couple times. I don't think that I was particularly popular. I just don't have a great memory. But this is maybe the third or fourth time that it happened to me where someone 1000% knew who I was and I didn't know who they were at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of just kind of being okay, yeah, my bad. Anyways, who'd you hang out with? I don't know, something. I decided to go, God, this is the fourth time this has happened to me. I'm the worst. Was I popular or something? So like, and just kind of thought that that would be a more charming way to pay it off, or like whatever.
Right.
I don't think it was.
Oh,
I think I made a mistake, but it's fine. We still had a nice party.
yeah.
I mean-
I had a thing recently at an event where a friend brought a girl and we all sat down and it was like mid-show or something. So I couldn't really talk, but I, in a brief, between acts, I just said, hey, I'm Erica. And she was, yeah, we met years ago. And I was like, did we? I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Of course, I'm sorry. It's like dark in here, but I was like, oh yeah. So embarrassed. I
we need to make an agreement, a social contract.
A social contract. Yeah.
If it's been over 12 months since we've met,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like no one is allowed to get mad.
Yes.
About that.
You just say, oh, hey, I'm da-da-da. We met a long time ago. It was brief. You don't it was a long time ago. You graciously let
Come
that
with
other person
facts too. Like,
yeah.
When did we meet?
We met
where? If you fucking remember it so well,
yeah.
like, tell me why.
Clue me in. I love to do the thing where when I don't remember someone's name, I like to introduce them to the person with me.
Oh yeah.
But if they know the person with me, then you're fucked, But you go, have you met Winston? That's my go-to. I'm like, oh, have you met my Winston? And then Winston says, hey, I'm Winston. Then they have to introduce themselves.
Yeah.
Now I triangulate their name. But everyone should get slapped that does that. You know what I mean?
Who says, yeah, we met years ago?
Yes.
I mean,
I'm not
see what
an
you're
advocate
doing.
for slap. I'm not an advocate for violence.
Erica, I see what you're doing. And the answer is no. Yes, we are covering the Oscars trashiest stories, but we're not going to talk about the slap. Okay. Everyone knows that it happened. I mean, we sure didn't, because I actually had my engagement party at a brewery during the 2021 Oscars, and it was playing behind us, but like we were too busy chatting and eating meats and cheeses and drinking beer. So everyone, you, me, everyone at that party just missed that. And then everyone was like the next day confronted with all this news of like, wait, what?
I saw it on Twitter from Australia.
Yeah.
Because on Twitter, they didn't edit it. Oh, like in America, they had edited partial like words and commentaries out and stuff. Australia version, they let it live. So I saw the full, the Aussie version. I got Aussie Twitter. Let me know what was going on before America did. But
anyways, we're not going to talk about it. It's pretty loaded. And I really feel like of all of the Oscar stories that people like know about, this is like one that's been so talked about that I don't even think our listeners want to hear it, but maybe they will want to hear about this gigantic scandal for our fourth story.
Yeah. This is insane. From Collider.com, Hattie McDaniel's award is missing.
So Hattie McDaniels, famously winning the award for her role in Gone with the Wind in 1940, she was the first Black person to win an Oscar. If you don't know what her role is in Gone with the Wind. If you've seen Gone with the Wind, like, is it racist to quote her? No,
I would. It's not, because it is the dialect from the movie, but the movie depicts
racist.
Yeah, the movie is. Yeah, it's about the antebellum South. It's a whole. I would not.
Her famous line has something to do with how she doesn't know much about labor. Okay.
Well, can I give context to that? So slavery, like slave trade ended, right? But as slavery was not outlawed in the slave trade ended, but then the Atlantic slave trade ended. So we stopped buying and importing slaves, but slavery still existed for a long period of time prior to the Civil War. I mean, it still happens, but prior to the Civil War. So they were literally breeding slaves.
Yeah.
And so part of that was you were supposed to be able to be a midwife and help this breeding. It's fucking horrific. Like the shame and blood on all of our hands in this system. Like, so when she says that line, she's like, I don't know anything about that. Like I've never experienced that. So
Yeah.
that's the context for that is mid-Atlantic slave trade. So we stopped
She
importing
should
slaves.
have
We had to-
known about labor. She didn't know
She
about
didn't know.
labor.
Yeah.
So anyway, she won an
Ugh.
Oscar, and just BT dubs. This movie came out in 1939. So this is definitely still a 1940 was only 80 years ago. And she wasn't even able to go to the premiere of Gone with the Wind because it was premiered in a whites only theater. So
Or attend the Oscars because
oh yeah, she couldn't go to the Oscars. She won an Oscar. She's first Black woman to win an Oscar. Couldn't attend the Oscars though. So in case anyone tries to like, you got grandparents because they were alive when there was whites only theaters. So just in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she when she died, her Oscar was donated to a university and has since then gone missing.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's in someone's trophy case being proudly displayed.
Proudly. No, it was stolen.
I know. God. Anyway, it's just horrible. But yeah, she couldn't. Yeah, it's fucking terrible. Like her legacy. But yeah, she's an amazing actress. But yeah.
I guess, it's hard to do trashy stories on the Oscars without having them to have a continuous racist theme. So let's just hop on over to our next story.
From history.com, Marlon Brando declines Best Actor Oscar.
Marlon Brando, same birthday as one Cassandra Cardenas, April 3rd.
True.
Yeah. He was a kooky guy, to say the least.
Yep.
On March 27th, 1973, he declined his Academy Award for Best Actor that he won for his performance in The Godfather. And instead, a activist accepted it in his place.
Yes. So the actress and activist Sacheen Littlefeather attended the ceremony. She stated that he very regretfully could not accept the award. He was protesting Hollywood's portrayal of Native Americans in film.
Backstory to him getting The Godfather.
Yeah.
He was kind of known as one of the best actors in his generation, but then his career really started to slow down a lot. And it wasn't until Francis Ford Coppola, who directed The Godfather, like fought to get Marlon Brando into this movie. So it's kind of an interesting story and would have been a kind of cool, like it's a nice Oscar comeuppance story for Marlon Brando, but I think it was, it was a good use of a platform.
Yeah,
so this would have been kind of a cool like comeuppance of like Marlon Brando's career of like, you counted me out and my career was in decline and I came back. And I mean, I think everyone can agree that The Godfather is a great movie. So, but you know what? This was a good use of his platform, I'd say.
Yep. But I have a little anecdote about old John Wayne.
Oh, yeah?
Miriam Wayne over there. That hack and racist asshole. So there's several claims of this. I don't have verifiable information, but it's written in several places. Several publications have this, but there's debate of oral history of it.
Mm-hmm.
But allegedly, while she was reading her statement that she later Brando later published the entire thing in the New York Times, but part of what she said was the motion picture community has been responsible as any for the degrading for Indian and making mockery of his character, describing his as savage, hostile, and evil. Goes on. Fucking John Wayne allegedly was so angry because he played this cowboy. Like
John Wayne's career is made off of movies that depict indigenous people as savages. He fucking had to be restrained by several people because he went up to like attack Sacheen Littlefeather. Whoa.
Oh yeah, like had to be held back by several people.
Isn't it crazy how wild people could act back then when there wasn't 1,000 cameras and phone cameras?
Yeah. Clint Eastwood also was like made a joke right afterward, and he has since apologized, which is nice.
Oh, that's nice. Marlon Brando, no stranger to social causes. He spoke publicly in 1940s for the support of a Jewish state. He was involved in African-American civil rights and the Black Panther Party. And all of this, his Oscar statement was support for the American Indian movement, Wounded Knee, the South Dakota town. Oh, wait, sorry. I have to make sure I'm not fucking minimizing this. His Oscar statement expressed support for the American Indian movement. And he was the second performer in history to turn down a Best Actor Oscar. The first was George C. Scott, who politely declined to accept his award for Patton in 1971 because he said that he just didn't want any part of the Academy Award. He was like, okay. And that was the second Oscar that this guy, George C. Scott, also declined even being nominated for Best Supporting Actor in the 1960s. He was like, I don't care about the Oscars.
So when you Google image him, a lot of images are of him, but some of them are of oh God, what's his name? Lemon. Oh shit, it just escaped me. The Odd Couple. Who are the Odd Couple?
Jack Lemmon?
Jack Lemmon.
Or whatever.
Jack Lemmon. Yeah, some of the images are George C. Scott, and then some of them are just Jack Lemmon.
That's funny.
Like all old white guys look alike, I guess.
Maybe that was his like name in the Odd Couple or something.
Yeah,
George Scott or something.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Oh, I watched an amazing video about Walter Matthau giving a tribute to Jack Lemmon. And they were always playing kind of like, antagonistic on their personalities, but it was truly one of like I love Walter Matthau and his humor and the cadence of his speech. It reminded me so much of just like the family and the storytellers I grew up with and their kind of delivery of things, and it just was so touching. And it was like from the 70s, I'm sure, but it was just a beautiful tribute to Jack Lemmon and their partnership throughout the years, working together. It was really nice. Grumpy Old Men, Oath movies are some of my favorites. Anyway, good. Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, more of them, less of these guys. But.
Yeah. Hey, do you think that beauty is expensive?
Fuck yes, it is. This
Sure
no
is.
makeup look, this clean girl aesthetic, that takes the money, honey.
Sure it does.
So much time.
You can't just have clean girl look without at least a spray tan or about $70 worth of skincare and foundation on your face, or both. But I think we should talk about how expensive it costs to get ready for an event like the Oscars.
Absolutely. We have from BuzzFeed.com, celebrity stylist dish on how expensive it is to get ready.
So we'll start at the beginning. Let's talk about skin. So there was a clinical director and co-founder of Skin Thesis LA who mentioned that there's a lot of different types of facials and that they can start anywhere from $350 to $600 just for the facial. And I'm talking, when you're starting to get a facial for the Oscars, you have to that's at least a month out.
Yeah.
Anywhere closer to 2 weeks, and it's going to start messing with the staying power of your makeup. So even a month before the Oscars, we're spending upwards of $600 on facials.
A celebrity dermatological surgeon said they've had patients spend upwards of $15,000 prepping 1 month prior to the event.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just facials. I mean, we can be talking about like Botox, fillers, all of the, you
buccal
see
fat removal now.
God, but if you have this really emotional role and you're an actor, an actress, mostly in actresses, that because of the pressure that's put on women, they have these emotional roles, not an inch of Botox in sight. But when you're on the award show and on the carpets, all of a sudden, they're not making those same faces. No. There's a high-end Beverly Hills dermatologist that says that up to days prior, even, that the kinds of cosmetic adjustments that he can make can run upwards to $30,000 because his consultation fee alone is $7,000.
That almost made me faint. Just to get in the door, you're spending $7,000. Does that go towards the cost of services?
What does he even do?
Does that go towards like, okay, you're going to spend $30,000. The consultation fee is added to that total. We'll take away. Or is that like $37,000 plus the $7,000? Oh my God.
No, this is cheekbone augmentation. This is facial revolumizing. This is hand rejuvenation. These are
things. Show the age, the hands and the ears and the neck show the age. You can filler, Botox, freeze what you want. But when you got old hands, it shows.
So moving on to the outfits, we've got different types of stylists, and their day rates tend to be around $1,500. So that includes like the time that they need to, spend talking to designers and shopping. If you're
Mhm.
getting something custom and they need to, make sure that that all happens for you, trying stuff on day of, $1,500 a day for like multiple weeks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. And then
Yeah.
if you get something from, a high-end designer that's in Europe or something, a lot of those places, it looks like Dior, Chanel, those types of stuff, they usually want only their tailors to work on that. So then you have to fly their
Mhm.
tailor out from France first
Their
class.
their atelier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, just
crazy.
for one night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna cost you so much money. But think about the hair, if you're not working with sponsors, like if the dress isn't donated, if you're not getting, oh, this bag is donated for the moment, it's and then you have assistants. It's not a one-person show.
Absolutely not. But yes, that's a good thing to remind people before you give up on your acting dreams, is that a lot of the times these people get sponsored, or that the
Mhm.
designers themselves will cover this cost for that magical moment when you're being asked, what are you wearing?
Mhm.
Because you're
Mhm.
basically a walking billboard for them.
One of the things I love so much about Drag Race is sometimes they have challenges where they have to make they're given material. It
Mhm.
could be actual material and beads and real material you would actually make outfits from. Sometimes it's unusual materials like curtain or like shower curtain rods, beach balls, like bags, like all sorts of different things that you have to make an outfit from in a day, like less than 12, a production day, like 8 hours, 10 hours, basically.
Mhm.
And some of the shit those people come up with, like these drag queens, it looks like it's couture
Yeah.
and it blows my mind. But my favorite outfit of all time, and I want to see someone do this on the red carpet. And there's like three personalities I think that could do it. And if they could, this would be my ultimate pop culture mwah moment. Lala Ree from one of the drag queens. They had to make their own, it was called the bag ball. So they were given all sorts of bags. So it could have been a beach bag, a gift bag, a handbag, all sorts of bags. And they're supposed to make their own outfit. And Lala Ree took a black corset
Oh my
and
God.
hot glued, those little gift bags, like take one on your way out. It's, about
Just the
5 inches
little,
long,
like
3
the
inches wide,
50-cent
dollar
bags.
store
Yeah.
bags, hot glued, light pink and dark purple bags onto a corset with no discernible pattern. Just did that, but strutted that runway. And if one fucking celebrity, not the Oscars, I get this is a different moment, but if you had the fucking balls, if you had the gall, I would die if somebody would recreate that as a gown. I would love it so much. I
It's
dressed up as Halloween. It's one of my favorite moments in history.
did they win their lip sync after that? I
I
can't
think I
remember.
think they were sent home.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? Back to the Oscars,
Yeah.
this hair and makeup business kind of just depends on who you are after a certain
Yeah.
second, but I mean, you could be spending 500 to like 3,000. There's people spending like $1,500 just on nails. I was talking to a friend who is a professional makeup artist in Hollywood, and
Hollywood.
mentioned that a lot of the times it has to just do with who you're working on, because like their price is based on who it is, because they're not
Yeah.
paying for it anyways.
Mhm.
Someone else is paying for it. So she said, if you're going to certain like nicer celebrities or a male celebrity or something like that, you could still get paid $3,000 depending on who that celebrity is, but it's a really easy job. Or if it's like, different female celebrities, just whatever their rate is. Point is, the things that these makeup and hair artists have to do to make it seem worth the money
Yeah.
is a lot of kind of embellishment. And she
Yeah.
mentioned, just kind of getting a brush on your face to kind of fluff something out that isn't even there,
Yeah.
but just to really make it seem like, wow, they're really doing $3,000 worth of work. And you know what? I respect that hustle.
I do too. I mean, some people say that for high-end appearances, they can charge up to $7,500 for a single night.
It's crazy.
How nuts is that?
Speaking of nuts,
Ooh.
I had to get it in there. From Collider, Streaker ran across the stage. This is in the 46th Academy Awards, which what year was the 46th Academy Awards? That was in
74.
1974. And they
Are you
had,
fucking kidding me?
yeah, did you guess?
Yes.
That was a guess? Oh my God, you're right.
Wow.
It was in 1974, which means the movies must have been in 1973. But yeah, April 2nd, 1974.
Wow.
You
I
crushed it.
swear I did not Google that. That was
And guess
off
who
the
won Best
dome.
Actor that year? Jack Lemmon.
Oh, this kismet. This is synergy coming together. This is a herald. I love it.
So the award presenter was David Niven, and a naked man sprinted from behind the curtain across the stage. Niven, quick on his feet, said, "Isn't it fascinating to think that probably the only laugh that man will ever get in his life is by stripping off and showing his shortcomings? He gets a huge laugh, whatever." And that line, apparently, some people think was so brilliant and so well timed that some people think that streaker was staged, which it doesn't seem.
David Niven is a British actor, and I'm just gonna say those people are quick. The wit,
Yeah.
I think that's that British wit. I think that's dry British wit on the fly.
I'm sure it is. I mean, it's like when stand-ups are too good at crowd work. It's like some people are just that quick.
Yes.
There's no way that in 1974 they would have staged a streaker just for David Niven to get like a great kind of punching down line at this guy. That's not even a nice thing to say. I bet it's sad. This is the only laugh that man will get. Like that's just quick. That's just quickness. There's way better jokes that if you were going to stage something like that.
Yes. Yeah. You could have made, there's so many, let's brainstorm them now. No, we don't have the time. I truly think as a British actor, that's just that dry, keep calm and carry on British wit. I totally think that was improv personally, but
yeah.
But you know what was, there's a little improv going on that night for sure.
Yes. This was a big one. I remember this one.
Chaos. I watched it live from people.com. I was backstage during Oscar's Envelope Gate. Exactly how the chaos unfolded.
Envelope Gate, of course, being the infamous year when La La Land was incorrectly named as Best Picture when it was actually Moonlight that won. Mm-hmm. That was a wild year. I want to say it was in the 2016, maybe I was right. 2017 was, I think, when that was. I'm looking it up now. It was 2017. Wow. Damn, I'm good. So there's a final award of the night. This is Best Picture. And we have Erica's favorite, Faye Dunaway, and Warren Beatty were the producer, or were the announcers.
Dick Tracy himself.
Yeah. There was something kind of odd. They were a little hesitant to say it out loud, but they announced it as La La Land being the Best Picture, and something just felt off.
So a stage manager said out loud into a headset while starting to pace, "Oh my God, it's Moonlight. Oh my God, oh my God."
They got the wrong envelope.
Yeah. So seconds passed, and the La La Land producers, Oscar Aloft, were well into their acceptance speeches, and low-level confusion backstage turned into jaw-dropping disbelief.
Everyone was already on stage.
They were mid-reading. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And then how did they end up finding out? Did someone run on?
So what happened was Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway heard back, somebody, was yelling, everything was happening. They got the wrong envelope. So the actors had to walk back out with tears in their eyes and say, actually, it was the wrong. I think no, wasn't it mid?
They interrupted them.
They interrupted them. Yeah, they were mid speech, and I think one of the people accepting, or one of the producers, mid speech, didn't he say? Actually, it's Moonlight. Like something happened. Somebody came out and then he says, "Oh, this is actually Moonlight," right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they must have told someone who wasn't currently talking, said, like,
Mhm.
can you go interrupt your friend? Like, this isn't
Yeah.
right. And yeah, you're right. It was someone from La La Land who had to say, oh, this was Moonlight. So then the Moonlight people came on and it was super awkward. It was super weird. Warren Beatty would not to give up that envelope.
Yeah.
Because he was like, probably wanted to be like, fuck you, I didn't screw this up.
Well, he wanted to show the director, Barry Jenkins, the contents. Like he was going to show Moonlight's director, like, this is what this is what happened.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him. I wouldn't give up that envelope either.
No,
I'd be like,
I'm
no,
not getting blamed as a feeble old man.
Show me. I need as many witnesses as possible.
Yep.
But so what the envelope that they got was the Best Actress envelope, which Emma Stone did win Best Actress for La La Land that year. Yeah. And so that was, I guess they saw the envelope, got confused, and then just read whatever for movie was on the envelope.
Yeah. So PricewaterhouseCoopers is one of the premier, the big four accounting firms. They're the ones that they tally the votes, they make the envelopes, they're the one that handle everything. They made the blunder. So, they issued an apology acknowledging that he had been handed the wrong envelope. And so he was like, yeah, I gave it to Faye. I didn't know. I mean, it looked like two old actors can't read or something. But that was not the story.
I mean, they definitely, like, what do you do? The Oscars are live. So do you hold up the Oscars and go, I don't think we have the right envelope? Because how weird would that be if they were like, I don't think we have the right envelope? Because people are gonna be like, oh my God, does Warren Beatty and like, do they think another movie should have won? But like, also, if the envelope says Best Actress, Emma Stone, La La Land,
what do you do?
I don't know. I feel like you say, I don't think we have the right envelope, because
I would send Faye off stage. I don't know. Like, what do you do in that
moment? You got to do something of like, or get one of those like, nepotism kids who gets to come and hand out the envelopes and go, this isn't like, make them do the legwork and stall.
Come here, sweetheart. Warren Beatty. Come here, sweetheart.
Because it feels too high. And you know what? If they would have gotten the right envelope and it would have said La La Land, then all good. But I don't know. Whatever. I mean, I'll tell you what, this would never happen again after it's happened this time.
Yeah, it's fucking nut. I personally, here's a sidebar. Cass, how do you feel about La La Land?
I never watched it. I couldn't bring myself to watch it because every like actor I knew was so obsessed with it that I'm like, I bet this movie's annoying.
I fucking hated every second of it. I fucking hated it. It was Cloud Atlas level to me.
Really? I mean, I like Emma Stone and I like Ryan Gosling.
Both of those people.
But I just like, everyone liked it. And it also just kind of sounded like triggering, because it was like, I know what it's like to like be hungry and try to be an actor and no one give a shit about you. Mm-hmm. And so there was also part of it like that, where it was like, I don't really want to watch a movie about like my own struggles, like, because it's like a bummer.
Yeah, it just, I hated it. They had great chemistry. Love both those actors. Like, good on you for trying something interesting, but like, I'm almost sick of movies about movies in Hollywood. Like, I don't know.
I thought Babylon was fun until the last 15 minutes where it got so bad.
I haven't seen it yet, so I can't.
Same director as La La Land. So I have a hunch you might not like it. Also, that shit is over 3 hours. It's ridiculous.
I've saw one scene where they're trying to film a scene and they keep having to do things for sound because of the way things were filmed. It's funny. Then.
Yeah.
Winston was watching it the other day and I was like, this is interesting. I like this. Like,
I think it's a cute movie. It's fun. It just, those last 15 minutes, fuck, they're bad. They're really bad. It was snubbed at the Oscars. People thought that it was going to get best picture nom or any nomination at all, and it got nada.
Ooh, that's kind of a dumpster fire if you ask me.
Okay.
But that makes me think of, what it's time for.
Is it time for the dumpster fire of the week?
Absolutely.
Oh my God. This comes to us from vulture.com, and we're talking about the movie Crash.
Oh my God. So it's how Crash crashed the Oscars.
This is, of course, the 2006 film Crash, which I believe, if it's 2006 film,
It was a contemporary film about racism. It was made on a $6 million budget, but it shocked everyone, even its own creators, that it won Best Picture.
So written by renowned former Scientologist Paul Haggis. I say former Scientologist because he's in like all of the Going Clear. He's in all of them. So I can say that without being a dick.
This is like a like people's own words. This is an oral history. So it's not written like a true article. It's in first person from the people involved in the making of in the story. So just if we're changing tenses or, if things sound weird, that's why it's an account from people's own mouths.
Because they couldn't believe they won it. So Paul Haggis, the director and co-writer, he was fired from his CBS show, Family Law. He, he wrote $1 Million Baby. So that was like definitely a big deal, but nobody wanted him to direct $1 Million Baby, which worked out well because $1 Million Baby, I believe, was an Oscar winning film as well. So he he had his chops, but he had this idea for a television show about like modern day racism, and everybody was like, no, thank you. We don't want to see that. We don't want to have to deal with that. We don't want to face the fact that racism is ingrained in our DNA. Thank you.
So his then wife, Deborah, was like, you know what you should do? You should make it a movie. You'll win an Oscar.
Oh, Deborah.
Oh, Deborah. Oh, Deborah.
Deborah.
Deborah. So Paul pulled out the 35-page outline and he called his friend Bobby Moresco and said, I think this is a movie.
I think we got a movie here, Bobby. First 30 minutes, it just reinforces every stereotype and then just kind of takes you on a ride after that, basically.
Yeah.
Have you seen Crash?
Yes, I saw Crash at the moment. At the moment, I was like, oh, groundbreaking. And
that's
now,
how
cringe.
I haven't seen it since the first time I saw it. So when I first saw it, I was like, oh, damn, like this is a good movie. And I really feel bad about being racist, but I haven't gone back to rewatch it. So I really don't know, like, do people hate this project for the same reasons they hated it back then, or was it actually not good? It's tough to say.
Well, how about we make a pack in 2 years in 2025, we rewatch it 20 years later with 2025 eyes.
The 20-year anniversary of Crash.
Yeah.
So it started with casting Don Cheadle. That helped get the, some movement on it. A lot of times movies, they get a big actor or whatever. Mm-hmm. Then a lot of other actors were interested, but then couldn't do it. So they ended up getting Matt Dillon. They got Ryan Felipe. They got Terrence Howard. And then when they got Brendan Fraser, finally they were like, okay, we can probably get some money now. And they did. A little bit.
A big part of getting Don Cheadle was that he also signed on as a producer.
Yes.
So a lot of the people that had turned them down saying like, no, you can't make this movie was like, well, look, someone that's making it is Black, so that helps.
So we're cool.
But we're cool. Yeah. I have a Black friend is what the movie said.
All the actors, Sandra Bullock is in this movie too. All the actors who did work on it agreed to work for Scale, which in 2023 was around $6,000 a week, which, just like for reference, Scale is just what a new random, it's the minimum that you could pay a SAG actor, but anyone else, like Sandra Bullock at this time and current day was making millions to be in movies.
Millions to me,
She's one of the highest paid actresses. So they didn't really know what was going on, but they really liked the script, and they just wanted to make the movie, agreed to work for Scale. And we'll skip ahead a bit, but there's a really sweet thing that I wanted to just point out when we're talking about the actors. So Michael Pena was in this movie.
Scientologist.
Is he?
Yeah.
Dang it. Well,
sorry.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's still a nice story. Okay. Yeah. Michael Pena, up until this point, was only getting like gang member roles, and he was kind of convinced that that was just what he was going to be for the rest of his career. But he booked Crash, which I don't believe that he is not playing a gang member in this. But anyways, he got this movie, and despite what all the shit that everyone has to talk about it was the thing that got him an opportunity to play things other than gang members, and now he's got a very fruitful career, and he was an Ant-Man. I mean, he's a great actor. Didn't know about that Scientologist thing, but what can you do?
What can you do? Yeah.
They're out there. They're out there.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But yeah, I mean, just one little side note. Oh, at one point, a guy had a heart attack on set, like the last day of shooting the final
Not a guy, scene. The director.
The director had a heart attack.
Paul Haggis.
Paul Haggis had a fucking heart attack. He took him to Cedars. He had a surgery. And then he was like, the next second, he was like, hey, how many people were in the intersection of the final scene? We need a lot of people. And he was like, we have plenty. And he was just like, we're gonna have to reshoot the whole movie. And people were like, you're high on morphine, like fucking rest. You just had a heart attack and surgery. The surgeon said, you can't go back to work for 4 months. And he was like, no, I had to be back because we're gonna lose Don Cheadle to go shoot Hotel Rwanda. And so he was back a week and a half after having
a heart attack and surgery. So crazy. So this movie came out in the summertime, and because they wanted it to be they still wanted it to be an Oscar contender, but they released it in the summertime in a small release, and it kind of became a word of mouth type movie. They were also one of the first movies to send out DVDs to everyone in the Screen Actors Guild, because they got nominated for a bunch of SAG awards. And I guess before then, if you were in SAG, you could go to the movies for free around this time, but they were the first ones who were like, no, we'll send you the DVDs. They didn't spend any money on like for your consideration billboards around LA. They didn't do anything like that. They just were the first people to finally be like, here's the movie. You don't need to see our billboards. Just watch the movie. And then Oprah Winfrey, because of that, saw it, which helped. And it became this kind of big everyone was seeing it, and it probably affected them the way that it affected us. We were like, wow.
Well, Oprah even had said in some interviews, she had a crash moment where a store clerk mistreated her because of her race, but she used the term crash moment.
Yeah, it became really, like a vernacular.
Yeah, really popped it in, which was nuts. So all this stuff happens. They spent about $225,000 sending out these DVDs. They shipped 100,000 DVDs. It's nuts. So they got 6 Oscar nominations, right?
Which was huge. Yeah.
Huge. They spent so much less money than their competitors. Most of them spent like, millions to get these Oscar campaigns, the billboards that run for so much time, like all in LA, New York, like the major film cities in the US, there'll be huge for your consideration billboards. Like the campaigns they'll take out full page ads in different trade magazines and things like that. So, TV, radio, newspaper ads, all sorts of stuff where the voters live to get their attention.
Turns out you just need to give it to them. So it was Crash, Capote, Brokeback Mountain, Munich, and Good Night, Good Luck that were all the Best Picture nominations. And it started to become kind of obvious. Oh, by the way, Crash not nominated the Golden Globes, which a lot of people think that the Golden Globes are like the preview to the Oscars. Although, can't you buy a Golden Globe?
Basic. Golden Globes are thrown by the Foreign Press Association, and there are some loosey goosey stuff happening over there. Like it's sometimes it can be a precursor and a predictor, but there's also a lot of racism. And it's a whole mess. But anyway,
so they got snubbed at the Golden Globes, but they were like, whatever. Paul Haggis was like, the Globes don't like me. It's fine. But it became pretty obvious that it was about to be Crash versus Brokeback Mountain. That was like definitely who was going to be the contenders. And sure enough, the Oscar, it went to Crash. And let's talk about Michael Pena again. He wasn't even allowed to get in the Oscars. He was like invited to the Oscars, but the security wouldn't let him in because they
Yeah.
didn't believe that he was in a movie. So he went
Yeah.
to like down the street to a bar in La Cienega
Yeah.
and just watched the Oscars by himself with a bunch of people. But
Yeah.
it sounds like everybody was celebrating with him and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, he screamed like the Bears won the Super Bowl, he said.
That's
Like
cute.
and then people just went back to drinking their drinks. So he's screaming like a maniac and people are like, okay, cool.
The moral of the story is like, because all these people, in hindsight, they're go like, do we think that we had an Oscar winning film? Like, no, we never thought we did, and whatever. But also, like, Nanny Nanny Boo Boo, we won the Oscar. Like, sorry, we didn't choose.
Even Haggis said when at the Oscars, he thought Brokeback was announced. So he saw Ang Lee stand up and clap. And so he was like, oh, wow, does she love? Or no, so his
So she
wife.
saw his wife, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. So even at the Oscars, he saw his wife stand up and clap. And he was so confused. He's like, she loved Brokeback Mountain that much? And then he slowly realized, oh my God, no, we won. And he had no speech prepared.
Yeah.
It's fucking nut. Yeah, I have not seen it with fresh eyes, as they say.
I'd be interested to also like just reading about the history. I think it's kind of cute. Like if
Yeah.
I mean, Brokeback Mountain's a fantastic movie, but also it's just like Capote was a good movie too. But the Oscars are silly.
There's some movies that won an Oscar that I'm like, that has no cultural impact, and I'll never think about that movie again.
I mean, all the movies that would win, like Goofy movies would win the Oscars way back in the day when the Oscars first got like incepted. And then at this point, the stuff that gets nominated for Oscars, it's like you can tell when you're watching a movie
Oscar bait.
that was made as Oscar bait. Yes, where you're like, okay, like
it's like Ridley Scott last year. What did he make? He made he made 2 movies last year that were like The Last Duel in 2021 and House of Gucci. And it's like,
oh yeah,
okay, you going for the Oscar? And I don't think either of them got it, right?
no. I mean, The Fablemans, it's like, okay,
a movie about
movie about
making
me.
movies.
Like, we get it.
We get it.
Erica,
Yeah.
who does your Oscar go to? Who are you hoarding?
Thank you so much. I think some of the most fun I've ever had in a movie theater, some of the most like enjoyable, some of the most fun I've ever had in a movie theater. Like I remember I was on that expression happens all the time. I was on the edge of my seat. I don't remember exhaling the whole movie. Like I was like the whole time. I was like, I can't believe I didn't pass out from lack of oxygen when I saw George Miller's Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, sure.
In theaters. It changed my life. I was like, oh my God, I've always liked Mad Max. Like that's so fun. Apocalypse is so fun to me. But my God, the adrenaline, the pumping, just the visuals, everything about it. And then when I learned more and more about it after, the practical effects, the way they shot things, the lore of the movie, like who the Doof Warrior is, and like where did Rictus come from? Like all this stupid, like who's the gasoline farmer? Like all this, the lore of it. I don't know. I'm just like, that's a movie. If I could rewatch any movie for the first time again and feel that feeling, I would want to do that. Fury Road, hands down. Mad Max Fury Road, my favorite.
All right.
Favorite moment. Yeah. What about you? What are you ordering?
Well, I guess I'll do a movie, although, well, I don't care. A movie that I just think is so funny, and sometimes it pops up on Netflix. Check out Hot Rod.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hot Rod with Andy Samberg. It's older. There's a scene where he like falls for like about 3 minutes, and it's just really a funny movie. Is it my favorite movie? No. But when you were talking about like a movie that you wish you could see again, I really feel that way about Hot Rod. It's short, as movies should be. It's stupid, and it's just funny. Okay? Like, sue me. It's funny. Yeah. I'm going to hoard Hot Rod and see if I care.
I love it.
What do you who should be glad that they even got nominated? What are you throwing away?
Honestly, I'm throwing away Spanx. Oh, the things that you gotta wear under your tight little fitting
God.
Oscar dresses and
Uh-huh.
all this body shaping shit and like Spanx brand, I feel like has gone downhill or
Oh,
I've
God.
gotten fatter. One of those two are true, and I do not care to do the research.
I'm gonna say it's the former. If they're expensive, they're more expensive than anybody, and they have nothing more to offer than anybody.
Yes, yes. So I just, you know, be comfortable. I would the thing that so I believe the costume designer for Mad Max Fury Run won the Oscar. And she's just a lady. She's wearing just a nice pantsuit, a black shirt. And just, a typical looking older woman. She wasn't glam to the hilt. The way those fucking people looked at her, because she wasn't in Spanx, spent $7,500 on makeup. Like you could see the audience be like, why is she dressed like that? And I'm like, because she makes incredible costumes. She
Jenny
doesn't have to-
Beavan.
Yes, Jenny Beavan. Thank you. She doesn't have to wear them on her body. You fucking, I was just, I was so mad. Like she's wearing a scarf. She just looks like, hey, I'm a lady. Like, okay, like I won an Oscar. Go fuck yourselves. Like, it just made me so mad. She's been nominated for an Oscar 12 times.
Good for her.
And she's not wearing Spanx. So throw them out. Throw them out. What are you?
You're not gonna believe this. I'm throwing out boob tape.
Ooh.
So we're in the same boat. And actually the boob tape comes up because the shapewear, the Skims that I had to wear for my wedding, because they were the only shapewear that has a low back, fit weird. And so I'm having to use boob tape to tape them up, tape the Spanx in place. I don't like boob tape. I don't get it. It doesn't ever work for me. It feels like in order to get these heavy honkers up, I need as much boob tape as I would to just wear a bra.
I'm going to send you a brand that is like made for boobies, not, I just have a little dainty piece. Like it's this brand. I'll send it to you. I'll plug it sometime.
We'll see, because I'm pretty sure you were the one who recommended the ones that I have.
Well, I found a better one.
All right. I got to ask you a favor though, because here's my issue with it is that I can't get it to work. And I feel like it's because I have no guidance. Like, would you stand in front of me topless and do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then maybe we'll come around on it. Cause I watch the TikToks, I watch the YouTube videos, and I understand why women can't just do it, but like, also I'm not learning anything by you just kind of halfway showing me over your shirt.
Show me.
Like I need to
know where stuff goes.
Like, where is this kind of like people with boobs only password protected? If you have boobs, you have the password kind of site where I can see someone just do it. Like, 'cause I'm not like a pervert who's going to jerk off to it, but I know that that's the reason why I can't get good info, is because there's too many perverts to jerk off to it. So I'm throwing it out. Maybe you'll change my mind, but right now it hurts to take off because it's tape. So I don't know. Well, maybe I'll come around to it after you show me, but certainly I hope you had a good time taping me into my Skims at the wedding. By the way, we'll never know because we pre-recorded this, but here's your warning when you show up to get hair and makeup. I'm gonna
there's this fabulous brand who the woman who owns it, the name escapes me. I'll send it. I'll plug it sometime, but she owns this plus size boutique and she does TikToks of like people coming in to try on clothes, and they're so, finding prom dresses, finding work, just finding outfits, and they're just very like timid and ashamed of her. And she, with all sincerity, this isn't hype, like she's just like, oh my God, you look beautiful. Have you seen this? Like, look at that. Like, you are so, and she just, the way she speaks to these women trumps them up, but makes them feel beautiful because they are. But she sells a special line of boob tape, and she puts women into clothing that make them feel beautiful. Then they look beautiful. People that are like, I can't find prom dresses because I'm shaped like that. It's truly one of the most uplifting, amazing things I've seen on the internet a very long time, like watching like teenagers who are just like, I wear tents every day because I'm ashamed of myself being like, oh no, these are clothes that fit me and I look beautiful. And I have you can see their faces changing when they come out of the dressing room.
That's nice.
It's so beautiful. But she sells a boob tape. That's the superior boob tape. It's meant for boobies. Anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, the stuff I sent you before is for amateur boobs. We're now in the pro boob tape league. So
where can the people find you?
yes, you can find me at Iconic Erica Curry on Instagram and TikTok. I'll plug the boob tape, but you can find me there. Yeah, that's all I want to be found. That's me.
Okay.
Living the life. Yeah. What about you? Where can we find you?
In Europe, bitch. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Don't worry. I have Find Me. I have on iCloud for you.
Yeah, you got my location.
I'll know
Okay.
exactly where you are.
That makes me feel okay. Okay. And you can find this podcast at Trashy Trashy Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. We have a website, trashytrashypodcast.com. We have a merch store, trashytrashypodcast.com. We also have trashytrashypodcast.threadless.com, which is our merch dice. Oh my God. Our merchandise site, trashytrashypodcast@gmail.com. Tell us why you're trash. Send us stories. We love it. And by God, will you leave us a 5-star review? It helps us so freaking much.
Help us win the potties. It's like the Oscars, but for podcasts that I just made up.
Yeah,
potty.
I was going to say, they need to workshop that name if that's a real thing, babe.
It's not. Anyway,
right.
Hey, Cass.
What's going on, girl?
Stay glamorous.
You stay glamorous, girl.
I will. Bye-bye.
Hollywood.
Hollywood.